Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today I am back with another video here, and at the halfway point of the 22-23 season, the Flyers pick up a 4-0 win. Just a really nice game overall over the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo, coming off of the back-to-back. A lot of good things in this one. Samuel Ersson, fantastic. Stops 28 of 28 coming his way. As you see here on the board, I talked about before about a lot of Flyers chipping into the offense and being able to get some sustained pressure from each line. And the Flyers open the scoring from the fourth line. And the lines, I've talked about these before where basically the lines, they've stayed the same for a good chunk of time now. It seems like with Frost and Tippett, Farabee, Cates connecting, Hayes, Law, and Allison, Delorier, Brown, McEwen. Defense, again, I talked about his change a little bit, but tonight it was Provorov, York, Sanheim, D'Angelo, Sealer, and Ristolainen, and as I mentioned, Ersson in net. And, the Flyers get the opening goal from the fourth line, and it was just a simple play. And, again, I talked about the fourth line in the game against Arizona. They had a lot of chances. They just firing pucks on net. They looked like they were going to score. Delorier gets a goal against Toronto. Now McEwen tonight against Buffalo. It's good to see that line chip into some offense here and now. And, every now and then you want to get goals from everybody. And Allison chips in. McEwen gets a goal. Farabee gets back on the board. It was just an all-around good game of connecting going into this game. Had the point streak, a 9-game point streak for connecting on the season. Just incredible. I mean, he's got 43 points on the year. Had 2 assists tonight. Just a lot of good things. Van Riemsdyk playing his 900th NHL game. And the Sabres going into this game were 5-0 in the black jerseys, the goat head jerseys. And they scored 6 or more goals in those games. And they lose and they get shut out. So some pretty good stuff. But again, like I mentioned, McEwen 1-0. Simple play. Get it in front of the net. Really nice. Flyers have a 1-0 lead about a minute or so in. York had a shot that ended up getting blocked. D'Angelo had a chance that got blocked. It was a nice pass by Lawton to get it to him. Then Hayes had a chance in tight twice. Nice chance by D'Angelo. Flyers could have made it 2-0 early. Connecting had a nice defensive play to break up a pass for Quinn. Flyers would get a power play here and just a really lousy power play. The power play last game against Toronto just wasn't good at all at really any point. And in the third, there was a little bit of a switch for the power play. They tried a couple different things. But on this one, the 2-1 for Cousins rips that high. Frost had a shot that got blocked. And then that was it for the Flyers. The most frustrating point of the power of this power play was just they just look so lackadaisical. Ersson stones Krebs on a breakaway, and York tries to get a puck through. It doesn't get through. It's blocked. Sabres go the other way. Then Gergensen's had a chance in the slot. Ersson had a similar save on Krebs in his debut game on Svechnikov in tight. He's such a good goalie in tight. I don't understand what it is or why, but he's so good in tight, and he doesn't move much. He doesn't overreact anything. He's just right there. It was definitely back and forth hockey, but the Flyers kind of really took advantage. Last 7 or 8 minutes of this first period were all Flyers. Farabee made it 2-0. It was a nice play. Deflected right to him. Looked like Anderson kind of fell down, and Farabee just picked the spot. And again, Sanheim had a nice play. He stepped up and chipped it and kind of went through a couple skates. Tippett almost had a play where he set up JVR in tight, and then Ersson had a nice save from the slot. Again, good rebound control. He only had 5 shots in the first period where he saw for Buffalo. But he made some really nice saves in this period to keep it 1-0, 2-0. And then the Flyers got a goal. And this is kind of what I was talking about with Cates. I put that clip out of him defensively and starting to play the other way. But offensively, he's done this too. And it shows here on the goal. Because he gets in on the forecheck, he makes a simple play, finishes his check. He just hounds them. He's just like a total hound dog on the forecheck. He just gets in. It's just incredible. Just a really nice play, good shift from the top line. And I thought the Farabee Cates connecting line was the Flyers' best line in this game. But overall, just a really, really nice player. So 3-0. Ristolainen almost just skates in, almost had Tippett. He ended up skying it, but there was a play late. Flyers almost scored, no goal. They pushed the pad. So 3-0 at the end of the first period. First 5 to 7 minutes of this period were perfect for the Flyers. They had a chance in tight for Farabee. Cates had a really nice move in tight. Konechny had a couple plays where he was kind of going at Skinner a little bit. Then the Flyers get a power play where Frost draws a penalty off a nice play from D'Angelo. He tried to feed it back. Frost didn't really get much of the shot. He ended up getting slashed, hooked, whatever you want to call it. It was called a hook. It looked like more of a slash than a hook, but it's called anyway. Much better on this power play. They had a lot of looks. Lawton had a one-timer that went wide. Tippett had a shot that guy ended up getting a nice save by Anderson, but the Lawton one came right back out in front. Could have been a slam dunk, but they couldn't get it, and really it was all Flyers for the first 5-7 minutes. And the remaining rest of the period was all Buffalo. York had a nice play on Yost off the rush. Then Farabee almost scored at the side of the net. It was a nice play by York just to get it to him. And Ersson had a great save on Jost, and then this is where it all started. Flyers were stuck in their own zone. D'Angelo was out for over 2 minutes. Frost, Tippett, Van Riemsdyk line, that line was out for at least 2 minutes and change for each of them. I believe Frost was out there like 2:10 or something like that. Tuck had a chance in tight. Ersson with a great save. Then he stoned Middlestat. Just so calm. I mean, he's just so poised. Like, he doesn't move much. He tracks the puck very well. Again, that save on Middlestat, there's been times where guys have kind of been caught behind him, or behind the D, I should say, and he's just been right there. And Ersson was the sole reason why this game was 3-0 still. Could have been tied, could have been 4-3 Buffalo, but Ersson made some really nice saves, and Skinner hit the post in the high slot to start the third period. Flyers had to clean it up, and I felt after the Allison goal, it just went away. So 4-0 Allison scores. Really nice pass by Hayes and tight. Slam dunk from Allison. Sanheim ended up tipping a puck in on Ersson. It was a really nice save, but overall I thought just the Flyers, as the game was going on, they just settled it down. And, Ersson, again, he was just really solid. Just made some really nice saves. In tight, again, I've been very impressed with his play just in tight, around the net, in the crease, things like that. He hasn't given up many goals in tight. It seems like a lot of the goals he's given up have been shots long with traffic in front. Farabee ended up having a breakaway here, and it was a nice pass by Konechny. It was a similar pass on Lawton's shorthanded goal against the Canucks in Game 2. Where he kind of had to bank it off the wall. It's not an easy pass to make. And Flyers right now are for this season, they're 10-1-3 when scoring 4+ goals in a game. So, again, really good stuff. And, again, the offense is coming. I mean, they've scored 4 goals against Anaheim, 4 goals against LA, 4 goals against San Jose, 6 against Arizona, only 2 against Toronto, but then another 4 tonight against Buffalo, who's a team that's coming into this game. They're very high in goals for. Their goal differential was I believe was plus 22 coming into this game. Now it's obviously plus 18. But just overall, really good stuff from the Flyers tonight. And I felt like Ersson, again, player of the game, first NHL shutout. He's third all-time in consecutive wins by a Flyers goalie. He ties Hextall with 4 in 1986. Niedermacky has 5 from 2004-2005. And Bob Froese is first on that list with 8 in 1983. So overall, I mean, Ersson's breaking records. He's been fantastic. And, the Flyers are very high on him. We've heard that many times. And just a lot of good stuff tonight. So, for the Flyers and going into it, you wanted to have a bounce back. Torts mentioned pregame defending, right, and how they wanted to defend better. I thought they did that for the most part. It felt like once they kind of got that other goal, that cushion goal, because we've seen it a lot with 3-0 leads and comebacks and stuff. And once they got that 4-0 cushion, the game kind of just settled down for the Flyers. And I thought Ersson still was able to make saves, but the Flyers did a good job of limiting plays in front of him at least. But he was no doubt the best Flyer tonight. I thought Allison had a great game outside of the goal. Forecheck was good, made some really good plays in the corners, kept plays alive, had a couple nice passes, couple good shots on net. just the little things from Allison. Again, that top line was good, and overall, just a good game. So, this game was, a rescheduled one, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you have Toronto Sunday, Buffalo Monday. I'm like, oh God. And thankfully, they were able to win this one. So, hey, it is what it is. Really nice game. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember to check out the podcast, check out all that stuff. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below if you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to get to around 1,500 for the end of the season, so hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Watch party this Saturday. Flyers taking on the Capitals at 7 o'clock. Stream will start at 6:30 here on YouTube. Second watch party of the season. Thanks everybody so much for all the support, and I'll talk to you all again soon.